Fingering young Japanese boys, healing the main character by feeding him 4 kilos of sugar water, which probably led him to getting diabetes, beating up a veteran and turning him into a candy addict, and he also chased down a fanboy and began using his Chinese martial arts on him. I will be ranking Retsu on the menace tier list, as well as counting his victims. Retsu shows up in the earlier episodes in the underground tournament where everyone is competing to become the strongest in the world. There is also a cash prize of a whopping 20 bucks. Yes, these guys are killing each other over 20 bucks, but hey, 20 bucks is 20 bucks. Retsu appears and decides to pull up on this karate guy. He wants all the smoke, so he asks if karate guy is as strong as they say. Karate guy just looks at this angry Chinese man and says, "Oh, so where'd you hear that from?" "My fans." Then Retsu just begins roasting karate guy, which karate guy could care less about. "Alright, you gonna show me something, or are you just gonna keep barking?" Causing Retsu to pull out that 4,000 years of Chinese martial arts. Karate guy sees this goofy stance and says, "Are you insulting me? Why are you squatting like you need to pee?" As they're about to fight, this random side character stops them, who is a random Russian. He begins talking down to Retsu before talking about his motherland, but we all know that he's gonna get folded. Shrek suddenly appears and grins at them before trying to touch the Russian guy, but Russian guy does a pull-up and flips them onto the ground before breaking his arm. This might actually be a tough fight. After some glazing, these guys are finally in the ring, and they are freaking massive. They're making the ref look like he's standing between 2 NBA players. Retsu takes off his shirt and begins screeching like a caught zombie before getting into his kung fu stance. This guy is puzzled for some reason, and he's just standing there like as if his screen was still loading. Russian guy isn't doing anything, so Retsu hits him with that talk no jutsu. I'm not sure why, but Retsu sounds like he got 100 million needles injected into his gum at the dentist. I mean, listen to this guy.
3,000 years versus your infantile knowledge of combat.
Retsu just walks up to him, since this guy isn't doing anything. After Retsu puts his hand on him, his screen finally loads and tries to throw Retsu. But Retsu uses some Chinese martial arts that sends him flying. He tries to jump back and punch Retsu, but Retsu flies into the air and begins meditating on his head before defying the laws of physics and breaking this guy's neck. Retsu got bro looking like he just got sucked off by the Gog Gog master. In the future though, Retsu would be the best waifu, but currently he's a demon. This is now Retsu's second match. He shows up but no one is there. But suddenly a car drives into the arena. The announcer is like, "Hey, is that Amazon Prime shipping?" Suddenly a tall ass dude falls from the ceiling and lands on the car. Everyone thinks that he's dead, but he gets up and stands there like Superman. After one of the most dramatic entrances I've ever seen, they square up. But before they fight, we get hit with a backstory no jutsu, where this guy is punching the well. After getting a measly B-, the master looks at him with disappointment. "Really? That's the best you can do?" The master gets up and walks over to the well and shows these Chinese failures how it's done. Suddenly, someone does a Spider-Man flip into the air and punches the well as well. It creates a wave that matches the master, causing the entire well to break. The Chinese man tells him that he's not that guy and leads Retsu to a door, where he just tears it all down. Behind this door is a tunnel that was made by a single man. This shocks Retsu, and he realizes that he's not gonna make it out the hood if he can't go toe-to-toe with this man who did this. You'll later see who it is. We return to the fight, where this guy decides to throw a jacket over Retsu before attempting to pounce on him, but his cheap shots aren't working against Chinese logic. Retsu finally takes the jacket off, but as soon as he does, he kicks sand into Retsu's face and proceeds to kick him across the arena before trying to kick him again, but Retsu catches it. This causes the big guy to resort to wrestling. He begins giving Retsu the back shots of the century before doing a backflip, but this was the biggest mistake he could have made because Retsu pulls that Uno reverse card and makes him land on his injured knee, causing him to be in so much pain that he forfeits the match. Also, Retsu was going easy on this man, so get prepared for this man to really do some heinous activities. This is now the third round, where Retsu is squaring off with the karate guy, Katsumi, a named character. They take their stance, and Katsumi begins sliding over to him. Retsu, on the other hand, begins bulking up like Hulk. He turns into Ronald Koeman and pretty much spits into Katsumi's eyes. The announcer then points out the lazy animation, in which Katsumi over here is loading up the slowest counterpunch known to mankind. Retsu is tired of waiting, so he counters Katsumi instead, sending him into the crowd and got him looking like he's about to ascend into heaven. Katsumi gets up and looks like he just saw Chris Tyson's browsing history. He stumbles back over to Retsu, but Retsu begins flaming this man, causing Katsumi to lose all of his aura and pretty much lose the fight just like that. I actually thought Katsumi would put up more of a fight, but screw it. Put him up against the young Japanese boy, Baki, who is the main character. So Retsu is now about to go up against Paul Armor. This fight can pretty much be summarized by young Japanese boy versus big Chinese man. Baki wanted a dramatic entrance as well, so he jumps in like a superhero, which after breaking all of his bones from the fall, all, he begins getting his ass beat by a ghost. What the actual hell is going on? Baki then begins fighting back and beats the crap out of the ghost haunting the area before going back to Retsu and preparing to beat him as well. Retsu over here is stunned by how delusional bro is, but before he can react, Baki climbs on him like a monkey and sits on him. He tries to do the thigh squeezing technique Retsu did, but Retsu defends and flips Baki off. Baki then retaliates by beating the crap out of him before chasing him down like a demon. Retsu tries to do a leg sweep but fails, so he tries to regain his aura by instantly transmitting. Baki's like, it's gonna take a lot more than that to regain your lost aura, causing Retsu to charge in and exchange blows. During the fight, these guys keep yapping. Like, damn, I'm trying to watch a fight, not politicians argue. Retsu gets tired of it, so he sucker punches the miner, the same punch that turned Kasumi into a Walking Dead zombie. But Baki gets up, like he eats those on a regular basis. Baki tells him, hey, are you gonna stop playing around? Cause I'm getting bored. Oh, Baki, now you've done it. This makes Retsu pissed and is like, let me get serious, little bro. You know he's serious when you look at bro's feet, and they straight up look like rotisserie chickens.
To attack. A skillful toe grab. Baki is yanked down and takes a crushing knee.
Baki tries to counter, but this Chinese man elbows his feet, which, damn, looks like it hurt too. So turns out that taking your clothes off really does make you stronger, especially against the miner. But this man Retsu catches up to him and begins kicking the miner like a soccer ball. There is no chill in this man right now. Look at him cooking Baki harder than Gordon Ramsay, and even fingering the young Japanese boy to death. As Retsu delivers the final blow, thinking that he's finally got Baki Hama, the main character plot armor begins kicking in. So he hops on Retsu and begins twisting his neck. This was so brutal and heinous that Retsu himself had to twist his neck back into place. But Baki's like, nah, and kicks Retsu's head so hard that his neck snapped once again. Retsu somehow didn't die from this and wakes up in the hospital with immense PTSD. Now that Retsu has been humbled, he actually turns his life around, which him and Kasumi actually become best friends. They are now sparring and practicing their martial arts, where Retsu manages to get the upper hand. Afterwards, they begin teaching the students, but a big homeless man suddenly walks in. Kasumi is like, are those shoes in my dojo? The old man laughs in his face and tosses the new Jordans into Kasumi's face, causing him to get kicked and fingered in the eye by the old veteran, before the old man begins choking him out with his own belt. This causes Kasumi to become enraged, and he hits the old man, but gets a floorboard piece thrown at his throat. The old man then tries to leave after wreaking havoc, but Retsu pulls up like, you just hurt my dog. He's the one who taught me how to chase the bed. The old man begins crying to this beautiful melody before throwing his nasty nose hair at Retsu. Retsu dodges this in the most dramatic way possible. The old man breathes fire all over the place before disappearing without any explanation. Retsu had just encountered one of the biggest menaces in all of anime. After Dorian escaped the hospital, he runs into Main in China, who tells him that despite what he did, he ain't really doing nothing with his life, which causes Dorian to realize, damn, this man is right. And after getting his butt whooped by Main in China, he becomes acoustic. Retsu for the first time shows his waifu side by taking care of this man, Dorian, who now acts like a 5-year-old. Candy, I want candy. After this, Retsu is chilling and enjoying his Chinese meal at his favorite Chinese restaurant. Across from him is one of the biggest menaces in all of anime. Yes, more than Dorian. The dude suddenly gets up and he's huge. Retsu also noticed that guy gobbled up a whole roasted pig in mere seconds. Is there something you need? Yo, Retsu Kyle, right? The best waifu in all of anime. Retsu realizes that this guy was actually Jack the Nibbler, who somehow grew from 6'4" to 7'2". He is shocked, but gives his brother his Chinese blessing anyways. Since Retsu is the best waifu in all of anime, everyone is chill with him. After dinner, Retsu / Main in China enjoys his day by buying a book at the store, but encounters a femboy. Now, we would expect him to be chill, but this femboy Doyle is a hater, and is now trying to take the best waifu in all of anime from Retsu. Despite this, they both walk out of the elevator looking like they're about to head to class. Doyle tries to start some small talk, but Main in China is like, I heard about your dirty ass from the other fighters. Don't try to act all innocent. They later go to a bar to have a drink together, in which Doyle's like, you know, I'm about to take the title of best waifu in anime from you, and tries to blow fire in Main in China's face, but Main in China activates full counter and lights his ass on fire. I feel bad for the poor waiter cause bro is just trying to make some bread and go back to his family, but we got these two goons here ready to brawl it out. Maid Chana suddenly pulls out a blade from his GTA pocket to make Doyle realize that he tossed it into his eyes so fast that he didn't even register it. As Doyle tries to laugh it off, Maid Chana reveals that he's actually an alcoholic before spitting on his face. As Doyle was dying from the fire, Maid Chana saves him by grabbing a fire extinguisher and putting out the fire. He then unravels his cloak, revealing hundreds of fucking blades from London, which are all sent flying into Doyle's body. Like Maid Chana is now playing darts and turning bro into a porcupine, and even has Doyle looking like a mentally insane patient from Hellraiser. Doyle then begins running away like a bitch hits, showing us why he's undefeated as always, in which Mini-China followed his ass out like the Terminator. Like bro hasn't said a single word in over 10 minutes. Well, he hasn't even made a single sound as well. Doyle was now scared for his life, in which Mini-China pulls out that slavery whip and lassos his ankles, making him fall on the knives. But this shit is far from over, as Mini-China is now about to get revenge for his bros. So he walks over to Doyle, silent as fuck, but Doyle decides to give him AIDS by sneezing his HIV positive blood into Mini-China's eyes. But fucking Mini-China doesn't even blink or flinch. Bro just says, "Oh, you're fucking dead now, buddy. How dare you disrespect me in this way?" And got Doyle shitting himself as he knows he's about to get cooked. Mini-China uses the rope to restrain him before pulling out a big ass fucking berserker blade out of his ass, which makes me think that instead of China, he's actually from London. Bro begins doing tricks and spins with it. Y'all know the knife tricks people usually do? Well, Mini-China is doing that with a big ass sword. As Doyle tries to run, Mini-China gives him that Monkey D. Luffy tattoo before putting the giant sword back into his ass. Doyle begins running, but Mini-China chases him down. But Doyle suddenly pulls out a smoke bomb and it instantly disappears. This made Mini-China confused, thinking that Doyle might have went into the sewers. But as he looks in, Doyle appears behind him and jams the knife into his neck. This actually only made Mini-China angrier, so he combos Doyle's ass so badly that I thought this was another episode of Dragon Ball Z for a second. Doyle drops to his knees like, "Fuck, you really are worthy of the title of best waifu in anime." Mini-China reaches into his pants to pull out nunchucks, which every Asian is required to carry by law. He suddenly turns it into a big ass pole and goes absolutely ballistic on Doyle. Surprisingly, Mini-China helps Doyle out by pulling out all the knives. As Doyle thinks he's about to die, Mini-China is like, "I'm better than this," and refuses to hurt Doyle. Doyle tries to take advantage of this and launches a blast at Mini-China, just like how he did with the other guy. But Mini-China dodges it and launches a kick back into Doyle's face, giving him infinite concussions. As Mini-China tries to finish off Doyle, he suddenly gets injected with this big ass daily dose of steroids and passes out. Doyle's like, "You saved me. Are you the cave body I've been hearing so much about?" But the big guy is like, "Nah bro, wrong anime," and hands Doyle his book back and says, "I was gonna kill you, but I'm gonna come back for that booty later when you're all better." He then leaves without explanation, in which Doyle also tries to leave, but you guys are about to see why. Doyle turns the tier list upside down. A group of thugs appear and begin to mess with Mini-China's body.
Right, man, look at his wallet. It says made in China.
Who cares about that? Is there money in it?
Well, let's find out.
Doyle confronts them and says, "Y'all better get the booking and I'll let this slide. But if you touch my boy Mini-China, it ain't gonna end too well for y'all." These guys don't take the warning. Instead, they glance at each other and proceed to test Doyle's gangster by pulling out a knife and an electric PP. They approach Doyle like they're really about to do something. After these idiots got themselves looking dumb, Doyle tries to walk away once again, but a dog appears. This is where we get to see why Doyle completely breaks the menace tier list. Cause instead of being a menace, he walks back and protects Mini-China until morning.
So, what am I supposed to think about this turn of events? This impossible occurrence? This death row inmate? This human reject? This nobody?
Bro, Mini-China, you didn't need to flame like that. He just saved you. Doyle actually protected Mini-China throughout the night, so it's time for something called the power of friendship. Mini-China is like, "Damn bro, I didn't know you was a real G," before picking up Doyle and sprinting like the Flash across the entire planet. Bro then pulls out a rope and jumps onto the bridge like Spider-Man. As he's running across the highway, a motorbike comes flying, but Mini-China stops it by using the ass exploder technique, and then like the good waifu he is, apologizes for exploding the bike's ass and runs off. He then comes across a big ass river where these boys are peacefully fishing. I thought he was gonna jump across it like the Baki character he is, but instead he starts fucking running on it, which is even crazier. I swear it would have been easier if he just jumped across it. Doyle wakes up in bandages like he just fought a bear. Suddenly Mini-China comes in to reveal that the entire dojo actually gave up their blood to save Doyle. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, this shit gets so sweet that it's hard to watch. But Mini-China cooks Doyle a meal and they end up in bed together. Later, after a few days, Retsu meets Baki and his girl, who are up in the mountain. Baki's like, "Where's my hug at?" But suddenly, Retsu punches his ass, which is not a very waifu thing to do. Baki is sick and is actually on the verge of death, so he actually instantly dies on the spot. Turns out that Baki is being transported to participate in the sweatshop tournament tournament. Seems like Retsu didn't forget what this young Japanese boy did to him in the past. They make it to China where Retsu explains to his master that he wants Baki to join the fighting tournament for a whopping 20 bucks. Wow, Baki is about to be rich. So for Baki to participate to win 20 bucks, he has to fight this Chinese guy. As Retsu explains this to Baki, Kozu is like, "What? You trying to make my man fight when he's about to die?" But Baki's like, "Calm down, kitten. I got this." Baki goes to fight Drago from Rocky, who goes in to attack, but Baki holds his arm out like a priest. Surprising dude. When he tries to punch Baki, Baki dissipates and begins hugging him. Drago then begins freaking out and trying to break free, but Baki just sets him down gently. Baki pretty much toys with him, and after realizing that he's up against plot armor, the guy gives up. Retsu is now having a nice dinner with them, but him and Kozue get into a fight. He thinks that Baki is gonna die and worries for him greatly. This is when the best wafu, Retsu, reveals that Yujiro, the biggest menace, is gonna be there too, causing Kozue to begin crying and screaming for no reason. After, the old master asks Retsu what is Yujiro like, and he responds by saying, "He's an absolute monster." The old master though just laughs and thinks that he can defeat the guy who legit takes men's cheeks. These old farts are now trying to test Yujiro Hama because they don't know who this menace is. The booty warrior, the best father in all of anime. A stack of house tiles are brought as a test, and as this man Yujiro places his palm on it, they instantly shatter. Bro, even the roof tiles aren't trying to be touched by Yujiro. Yujiro approaches the Chinese master like he's freaking Dio and begins talking smack. This Chinese master tries to poke Yujiro's eyes out, but Yujiro just sticks his fingers into the master's face, which as this old master tries to retaliate, Yujiro goes to rip his entire face off before throwing the man's face into the crowd and has them pissing their pants. This causes Retsu, the best wafu in all of anime, to step up to Yujiro and attempt to avenge his master, but his master gets up and walks over to him like, "Let me cook." And as he tries to get his wands back, Yujiro just sends him to the Shadow Realm. After Retsu saw his master get packed up like a Lunchable, he goes back to Baki, who is training. He looks like he's about to die, but with Retsu's encouraging words, "I believe in you," Baki becomes invincible. With the power of waifu armor and plot armor, he is ready to kick some butt. But Baki's girl Kozue appears and begins being annoying and hitting our waifu. Someone put her in jail. Retsu is a good man, so he doesn't hit her, causing Baki to come in and reassure Kozue. Baki now gets into the arena, where this poison hand guy is ready to put his lights out. He manages to smack Baki around, but Baki tries to charge in, but begins dying from cancer. After vomiting out his organs, he falls to the ground and dies. But as he dies, his kin, Kozue, begins crying over him, which causes him to get up like the Undertaker, causing Retsu to be like, "He's been healed!" Retsu grabs Kozue with his big smile and tells her that Baki's been healed. Baki then demolishes the guy like it's Thanksgiving dinner and leaves. But since he's still not fully healed, Retsu, like the good husbando he is, prepares a wonderful feast for him. Baki quickly digs in, and after Baki gives him some compliments, Retsu blushes. "I'm trying to get you pregnant, young Japanese boy," and puts down a big bucket of water in front of him, and then pours 50 kilos of sugar and begins mixing it with his hand. Baki doesn't ask questions and begins swallowing it like a good boy, and after finishing the love water, he begins steaming and somehow recovers just like that. 1000 plus aura for Retsu. It's time for Retsu to fight, so he first takes a dump before entering the arena. This side character tries to flex his strength by crushing all the rings on his fingers, which proves nothing. Retsu then responds by stomping on the ground and speed walking over to him like he's about to full dude, but they end up interlocking hands. Retsu's grip is so strong that it got bro bending down like he's worshipping this wafu, which Retsu just finishes him with a tap and leaves. Later, Kaku Kyle, the level 100 Chinese citizen, calls Retsu over and asks him a question. "What do you think about the batch of sweatshop employees? I think they're weak and not young enough," causing Kaku Kyle to punish the ones in charge by cutting their hands off. This causes Retsu and the others to be shocked, but Kaku Kyle just explains that he's gonna have his Chinese goons fight instead. Retsu is now up after a lot of the Chinese warriors got whooped, but encounters this bearded guy who looks really nice. As the fight begins, Retsu gets into his stance, but the guy across from him calls him over for a handshake. Retsu, like the good man he is, can't refuse, so he accepts the handshake, but the dude pulls a cheap shot and tries sneaking Retsu, but Retsu manages to counter and flip him over. This guy then walks over to Retsu and tries to handshake again, which Retsu obliges, which dude tries doing the same dirty move again. He begins being super annoying, and even I want to see him get whooped, so Retsu then flexes his muscles and throws this dude onto the ground. He somehow made the best wafu in all of anime his enemy. Retsu then begins going bonkers on him, but the bearded guy suddenly manages to flip Retsu and break his arm. This causes everyone to hop into the ring to defend Retsu, but he tells them that this is my fight, not yours. After they backed off, Retsu takes his shoes off and charges him. He lands a kick and grabs his finger and throws him onto the ground. Man tries to counter, but Retsu dodges it. The dude then manages to grab Retsu's ankles and trip him, but Retsu finally has enough and grabs his beard before ripping it off. The dude then wants to become friends and walks over to fix Retsu's arm, which surprisingly, Retsu trusts this man still. And after he got bamboozled so many times, the bearded guy, as expected, flips Retsu but actually fixes his arm, which is very nice of him. Retsu now wants to thank him, so he jumps into the air and begins beating his ass. He tries to turn away, but this doesn't stop the whooping that Retsu is dishing out. Suddenly though, the beardless guy bends over and covers himself, and as Retsu comes in to hit him one more time, he headbutts Retsu, using a cheap move to lure his guard. Retsu becomes angry, but this guy becomes a little girl and hides. This doesn't stop Retsu from wailing on him, which as dude thinks is finally over, he gets clocked in the face, which got him looking like a hooker dancing on Retsu's fist. Our guy Retsu is such a respectful, loving man. He picks him up and carries him off into the sunset. After a long time, there's news of a prehistoric man who's causing chaos throughout the city. Retsu/Made in China wants to fight him first. He's the best waifu in all of anime, so I really hope he doesn't get destroyed. We cut to Made in China, the best waifu in all of anime, who is asking the old man here, "You're having trouble finding food for my Pookie Pickle?" Old man says, yeah. But before he can say anything else, Made in China says, "Let Pickle eat me. Let him swallow me up. I like that shit. And he gonna like it too." This freaks old man out. He's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you, man?
Are you insane? We've never felt more sane in our life."
Made in China actually wants to square up with Pickle. He arrives at the arena as if he's not about to get violated by this menace Pickle. Pickle right now is sleeping, but he quickly wakes up when he smells waifu energy approaching, which is Made in China of course, who soon jumps into the ring and squares off with this menace Pickle. Bro's like, "Fuck, I've been waiting for this moment," and sneaks towards Pickle, but Pickle throws a heavy ass punch which lands flush, sending Made in China flying back. As he gets up, Pickle charges him and he realizes that he's fucked but not cooked, so he launches a hard ass taekwondo kick into Pickle's face before slapping Pickle with Sir and sweeping him. Before Pickle can tap out, Made in China soccer kicks him in the face, sending him falling back. Everyone thinks that Pickle is done for, but Bro gets up crying without any damage. Even Made in China is wondering how this guy devoured his attacks without any damage. Pickle gets up looking massive and tries to grab Made in China, but Made in China blocks him before uppercutting him right on the chin with a badass kick, before sending Pickle falling back with a punch. Without even sacking the waist, Made in China begins comboing him and disrespecting him over and over. After the combo, he jumps back like, "Yeah, he definitely got max concussions now." But little does he know, Pickle barely felt anything and smacks the fuck out of Made in China, knocking his ass out. Pickle without falter picks him up like EDP does to his cupcakes and begins chowing down. Oh my days, this fucker took a big ass bite out of Made in China. That should have been me. This got everyone jealous because, you know, Made in China's our waifu. Made in China needs him, but Pickle bites out and continues to devour him. Made in China finally manages to escape and realizes that his weak ass punches are not doing anything to this Elder Ring boss. To unlock his full power, Made in China takes off his shoes and continues to attack Pickle, but gets slapped into the pavement. This is so hard to watch because our waifu Made in China is on the verge of death, finding this man. But that'd also be because usually the people who fight you naked are usually the strongest. Made in China begins having doubts about himself and begins wondering if he's worthy of the title Best Waifu in all of anime.
All my skills, everything I've learned, 4,000 years of history have no effect on him.
So he decides to abandon all of his martial arts and charge at Pickle with his goofy ass move, where he just spins his arm in a circle. Pickle is like, "Am I even fighting the same guy?" Made in China continues to wail on Pickle. That is until man said one of these whippy ass punches and attempts to punch Made in China, but Made in China counters it and surprises even himself. Pickle tries to attack him again, but Made in China blocks each one with ease. Made in China begins wondering why he didn't just become a bitch, which is actually because though he might have abandoned the title of Best Waifu in all of anime, the title didn't abandon him.
What is this? Who are you? You don't know? I am you, Retsu.
So after talking to his waifu side, Made in China is now empowered and instantly regains all of his aura. So as Pickle charges in to attempt to chomp on him, he instantly counters him like, "Shut that big mouth of yours." Pickle tries to attack again, but Made in China weaves it with no reaction and smacks Pickle on the pickle, then taking the chance to kick him in the stomach and then in the face, before grabbing Pickle by his hair with his feet and pulling him down onto his knee. The guys in the audience begin climaxing as the waifu is finally winning. Pickle is down on his face and it looks to be over. Oh my lordy lord. I cannot believe the best waifu in all of anime got his ones back. Nah, you don't understand something. What do you mean? I'm saying, Pickle is about to devour that ass and commit the thing that Griffith did on Casca on Yang. We begin to hear boss music as it's revealed that Pickle's neck is freaking massive. Look at this, it's not even about neck muscles anymore. You can't even knock this man out with a bulldozer. Mini-China tries to land a kick, but Pickle does a Mario jump before landing and tooling the ass up. Pickle is now using his ultimate technique, toot that ass up. Mini-China is now in a face-off against this menace, before suddenly, Pickle bursts forward at light speed, and Mini-China tries to counter, but gets hit like a fucking truck and sent flying into the stadium. Mini-China is now on the ground, defeated. Pickle, who actually got hit right in the eye, begins crying, but not for the reason y'all think. He walks towards Mini-China, and you already know what's about to happen. This old man tries to stop Pickle by using Tongue no Jutsu, the most powerful technique. Pickle, don't you dare eat the best waffle in all of anime. Pickle turns back to him, and bitch slaps him into the pavement. Shut up, I'm taking your bitch. Mini-China pretty much gets munched on by this monster Pickle, but luckily, we got Einstein here to put him to sleep. Alright, you're probably wondering what happened to Retsu after this. Well, he ended up becoming a pirate, since he only has one leg now. Retsu after this decides to stop hanging around literal menaces, so he helps out his OG buddy, Katsumi, who also wants to fight Pickle. So after training him and helping him to get strong, he feeds Katsumi to Pickle and pretty much just leaves Japan to avoid any responsibilities. It's almost Christmas, guys, so make sure you guys go check out the 100kg gripper down in the description. Also, there's a sale on it, as well as new merch for Calistoic coming out.